On today's episode of Anime Afterthought, Tonikawa, Over the Moon for You, Episode 1, Marriage. Fall 2020 must be this magical season of anime where I just step out of my comfort zone and try new things that I don't typically go for. Not only do we have the psychological horror of Higurashi, but yes, we have the innocently cute yet comedic Tonikawa, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right because I'm gonna be saying that a bunch. What this romantic comedy boils down to is your typical boy meets girl story. In this case, it's boy meets girl, falls in love at first sight, girl saves boy from getting hit by an 18-wheeler, boy confesses said love, girl reciprocates with proposal of marriage, while boy passes out due to major blood loss and several broken bones. Alright, so maybe it's not your typical love story, but honestly, it's actually not that bad. The story centers around NASA. Now I know I'm saying this one correctly is because his name seems to play a vital role, especially in his current demeanor as well as his character. With his parents giving him such a name, they had huge aspirations for their child. Now, when NASA was in kindergarten, he learned that, hey, there's another NASA out there, wanting no longer be compared or even related to this organization. He commits the entirety of his youth and in turn his life to up his reputation, so when someone says the word NASA, they only think of him. Of course, everything was going on track. He had his one and only top school picked out, hitting the books hard, doing his exercise. I mean, the dude is a legit hard worker. I mean, with goals and aspirations that literally wants to outshine people who make rockets and send astronauts to the moon. Of course, this was until that fateful night. Appearing across a snow-laden road, he spots a beautiful young woman. And with that single glance, it was love at first sight. It was such a shock, in fact, he lost all his common sense. Blindly entering this active road, reaching out and calling for this girl. Little did he know, a truck was barreling right towards him. With the blinding white light obscuring his vision, we truly don't know what transpired during this incident. All we know as NASA awakens, standing over him covered in blood is this girl. She had literally just saved his life, taking the brunt of this full-on frontal semi-assault. With both looking worse for wear, NASA only seems preoccupied with trying to talk to this angel that has appeared before him. But all he can do is stand and watch as she walks off into the distance, reminding him of a Japanese fable, Princess Kaguya. He reaches out his hand as he's saying, don't go back to the moon, much like the fable. And of course, this is getting a bit too serious. We just had a full-on bloody accident. It's time to interject some comedy in this. With the semi-truck driver completely frantic, he calls it in, calling for an ambulance, like, hey man, shit has gone down. Lurking behind him though, into the shadows, is NASA. He is standing tall and proud with blood shooting out of his head. Absolutely hilarious moment. Telling the driver, you cannot miss this opportunity when you have love right in front of you. As he barrels off into the distance, the truck driver can only stand in amazement. Eventually, he does get to this mysterious girl and he begins to blurt out everything. She admires his resilience. Covered in blood, completely soaked from all the snow, she's surprised that he actually made it this far. But remember, he still has something to say, something left on his mind. But once again, this mysterious girl begins to take off, this time calling for an ambulance. She's well aware of NASA's current predicament. As he stands up to try to stop her, he literally buckles. What has happened? What's going on? Well, the only reason he made it this far was due to the adrenaline, the pure shock of the accident. In reality, not only is he missing tons of blood at this point, but he has 2 broken legs. But NASA is a man among men, realizing that this is his last chance at first love. And once again, this mysterious girl, she is shocked and dismayed that NASA is back up at his feet. And this is where we get the love confession. It's awe-inspiring as the atmosphere begins to change. The snow slows down, the brightness of the once cloud-covered moon shines through. He finally confesses his love. And how does the girl reciprocate? By offering to marry him. But of course, the comedy gods dictate that this is the perfect time for NASA to lose consciousness. We usher in the next scene with NASA waking up in the hospital, and it seems some time has passed as the cherry blossoms are in bloom. But it seems all he can think about is this fateful encounter. It has truly changed his core beliefs, his characteristics. No longer striving for higher achievements, a well-known reputation, foregoing his track through higher education to work at a convenience store. It seems now he's just going through the motions. But of course, this is until that fateful knock at his front door. As we see him open it, and once again, it's this mysterious girl. And we finally get her name, Tsukasa. Once again, it seems NASA is face to face with true love, and she seems dead set on going through with this marriage. Much to NASA's shock and chagrin, she seems quite prepared for the situation, having an already filled out marriage registration. Signed, sealed, and quite literally delivered. But if there was any faltering in NASA's mind, it's quickly brushed away with Tsukasa's overt cuteness. As we see him realize the truth of the situation, that he is about to marry this super cute girl, he couldn't sign and seal the document quick enough. But if that wasn't enough, she decides to take a midnight tryst to the office that oversees marriages. She wants to make this official as soon as possible. With their destination set, this leads us to a very sweet moment. When NASA realizes that Tsukasa hasn't once made fun of his name, in fact, she seems enamored with it. With everything that the organization has done, that's a name you can be proud of. Eventually, they do make it to this Department of Marriages. The old man is blissfully aware of the fact that these two are minors, yet I guess this day and age, that's okay as long as they have their seals and witnesses, and yeah, it's official. These two people who have known each other less than about half an hour are literally newlyweds. Now, the entire end scene is pretty funny, where we see NASA's just innocence as he finally gets to touch this girl's hand, eventually squeezing it way too hard because he's just preoccupied with how soft it is, and then him being frantically excited over the fact that, hey, we're sleeping in the same room tonight? Okay, so like I said, this seems very lighthearted, very warm, very jovial, has some comedic moments, some very comedic potential there. It's not usually the stuff I go for, but like I said, it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I got some laughs and some chuckles, but there's also an air of mystery that I hope we unravel throughout the season. They just don't lay it on us. Tsukasa, she is a complete unknown, retorting to his confession of love instantly with a proposal of marriage. I mean, we know about NASA, but we know nothing about her. I don't know. I just think there's more going on with her than meets the eye, and hopefully, like I said, throughout the season, we get to unravel that mystery. But I do think we're gonna get some very innocent, naive moments coming from these two, especially from NASA. Plus, I hope there's just tons of comedy, because so far it's done a pretty good job of mixing the pair. So yeah, overall, I totally dug this. Totally dug this episode. I don't know. It's pretty good. Pretty good. It'll be a nice pick me up after Higurashi. Maybe I'll have to use Tonikawa as a palate cleanser. Anyways, with all that being said, and more episodes right around the corner, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.